Hey guys, welcome into the Outspoken Sportscast here. We got me and Jeff on here finally back again. It's been about 3 weeks, just about maybe a month since me and Jeff have jumped on together to do a podcast show. But
It has been a while.
it
It
has
has
been a
been quite a
while.
while, guys.
It has. We got quite a show for you today. Got a couple different topics to talk about. Football continues to be our main topic and give us plenty of storylines. Our spotlight of the week, we're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys scandal with Rich Dalrymple, um, and go through that a little bit. We got a couple different headlines for you, some quarterback problems, and two different teams in the NFL as well. But we'll get into those in a little bit here, and of course, at the end of the show, what's in our locker, as we've both been busy and it's been a long time. So Jeff will be able to tell us about different things, his new job, and everything in between. Let's go ahead and jump into it, Jeff. The Dallas Cowboys have been in the news in a negative light here as of late in two different topics. We're going to discuss this one today. The Dallas Cowboys Vice President of Public Relations, Rich Dalrymple, who's recently retired. He's not that anymore for them, but he's accused of taking pictures of cheerleaders, and he's accused of taking pictures up Jerry Jones' daughter's skirt. Um, pretty, pretty, pretty bold and disgusting accusations against him. Rich Dalrymple was the PR for the Dallas Cowboys for the last 32 years. Okay, and just retired last week. The same time as story surfaced. Now, Rich came out and he retired like February 7th or something. The story came out like the day after. Um, he says this didn't have anything to do with retirement. Now, I don't believe that one bit. I think you'd kind of be foolish and a little naive to believe that this had nothing to do with that. So let's go into the first accusation, Jeff. So the first accusation is that Rich is accused of going into the cheerleaders' locker room and taking pictures of three cheerleaders. Now, he says he went in there to use the bathroom, but left as soon as he knew the cheerleaders were in there. The cheerleaders say he stayed in there for minutes, his phone out and taking pictures of them. Um, what is he doing? What is he even doing in that locker room? Right now, with his personnel or with his job position, he's going to have a key card to get in anywhere, right? He can go in any. There's no locked doors for Mr. Rich Dalrymple. Okay.
Yeah, he's got the
Um,
the proverbial skeleton key, guys.
yeah, and look. Let's be honest. The head PR guy makes stories disappear. That's what they do. They have them for businesses, not even including sporting teams. They have them for businesses. They got someone handle the PR, the image of the team. They make stories disappear. Happens all the time. Um, so that's his job. This is a guy who was during the Cowboys, all the Cowboys going to prison and are going to jail, getting in trouble, doing cocaine while they're winning Super Bowls and all that craziness.
Michael
He
Irvin.
he makes
Michael Irvin.
stories disappear. This is what this guy does. So let's be real about that right away, okay? He says he was going to use the restroom, left right away. They said there's a men's restroom like right down the hall, like 30 feet from maybe. I just don't get it. I just don't understand why he put himself in that situation. But here's the biggest issue, Jeff. Now, these cheerleaders um, went to HR and said, "Hey, we want to file a complaint." The Cowboys did an internal investigation, found no wrongdoing. The cheerleaders then said, "We're not happy with that, right? Because most internal investigations don't find anything, right? Why would I'm paying somebody to come in and investigate me? Why are they? They're not gonna prove anything, right? It's just ends up that being so. The Cowboys end up settling 2.4 million after their cheerleaders. They weren't happy with the investigation, so they settled this money. The NFL's come out and said we're not going to invest the Dallas Cowboys, which doesn't make any sense to me, Jeff. Because why would the Dallas Cowboys settle money with somebody with these three cheerleaders if They claim nothing happened. This is also, this could be solved within 2 seconds, Jeff. Hey, anytime you scan a key card in that building, this is most high functioning facilities, it tells you what time, who scanned the key card, and then all you got to do is go to the videotape. They don't have videotape inside the locker rooms, right? That's illegal. But they have videos on the outside. You could clearly watch this video and go, let me see how long Rich Dalrymple went in here. And that would prove everything. The Cowboys don't have to release it because it's not, this isn't done an investigation by the FBI and it's in the courthouse. So they don't have to release any of that information. It's that simple. So to me, it seems like they're trying to cover this up because it'd be that simple to prove. And why would you pay out money if something that's so easy to prove and disclaim didn't happen?
It's key cards, or I mean, I use a key card for work. It's assigned to me. They know that's my key card. Like, they know when I come in, when I get out, and so it's like, it's easy to prove, but I don't think the Cowboys nor the NFL want it proven. I don't think that they care to solve this. I think throwing money at the situation is the easier option because, I mean, who's not going to take a settlement? I think most people would. You have the occasional person who's definitely going to say, oh no, I want something to be done about this before money is even a thing. And I think one example I always would come to, it would be the Olympics scandal that was going on with, I can't remember his name, the doctor. And so when he was, doing all that, those girls didn't care about money. They didn't want to settle. Like, they wanted him brought to justice. They wanted him in prison. They could care less if the Olympic Committee decided to settle and give them money. They didn't care about that. It was about the principle of the matter. It was about it was just, it was about making it right, not necessarily banking off something that happened to you. So not to say that that's happening in this situation, that they wanted money, but I honestly, even if they did try to fight this is one of the biggest and most one of the richest organizations in all of sports. They will throw every little thing at them, and have the best lawyers and drag things out, because the NFL could sit there and just drag it out all day long. These girls can't afford lawyer fees like that. And so it's just, it might make more sense for them to settle, as much as it sounds nuts to settle and you want justice done. I honestly don't think the NFL would have done anything, first of all, and they would have just dragged the legal battle out so much that it would have just drained all these people of money.
See, and I get that. Like, just because you settled doesn't, and I'm not here trying to accuse the Dallas Cowboys, right? Just because you settle doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. But you would think for these cheerleaders to go after a guy that's been into the Dallas Cowboys system for 30 some odd years, okay, part of the family, basically. They talk about, you would be, if we watched the video and Dalrymple walked in and walked right back out seconds later, that proves nothing happened. If Dalrymple walks in and stayed there for 5, 10, whatever minutes, then you're like, oh crap, well, maybe he did do something, right? So I don't know. It just seems fishy with a simple video. Find out. They're not going to ever release it, obviously. The NFL is not going to, look at it or investigate. And they settled. And the Dallas Cowboys are hoping this story, which it'll just go away. This guy is no longer a part of the Dallas Cowboys organization. They settled with him. So it's really kind of like, what else can we do, right?
The other thing you got to take into account, right? Just like with the Denver Broncos, right? There was a lot of hoopla that happened with the coach, and he said that the Broncos organization was in there in this slap. I think you even reported on this a couple episodes ago.
In the NFL.
Brian Flores. Is it Ryan or Brian?
Brian.
Brian,
Yep,
like you
yep,
are
same name,
Brian.
same
Okay.
spelled. Mhm.
Brian Flores. So the Broncos covered their tracks. There was an actual person in those meetings that was kind of like a court reporter in a lot of ways. That's all they did was literally record the times that people came in, the conversations that were had. I mean, it was to a T, every single thing. And matter of fact, I think John Elway was there maybe 4 or 5 minutes even before the meeting started. So his accusation was that John Elway was late. He was drunk, and I think even in the reports it showed that he wasn't. So the Broncos proved that that was not necessarily the case in that situation. Not to say that Brian Flores doesn't have problems in other organizations, but in terms of the Broncos, I'm pretty sure they proved their case right, that they actually weren't doing anything malicious and negative in that situation whatsoever. Then, with the weird part about this is that if he's innocent, if this guy's innocent, the Cowboys will do everything in their power to prove it wrong based on evidence. It is
Right.
a franchise that is storied in the NFL. It's one of the most recognizable brands in sports outside of like the Yankees or the Lakers or, like even the Dodgers, right? Those are storied franchises that everyone knows about. They know that, they know their organization, and it's kind of a universal thing. So their actual recognition in popularity or in media is detrimental to that success. And the Cowboys, of all things, if this was wrong, they would have given video evidence, they would have given firsthand account, they would have had all the polygraph tests. It would have been like, look, there's nothing here. He was here, we show him here, he entered in that room, he walked right out to literally 30 seconds later and left the building. He didn't stick around there for 10 minutes, 20 minutes and then leave. But the fact that we don't have that looks bad.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It's an easy clear up. If this guy, who they've talked about in interviews about being part of the family, could be cleared up with just a simple they don't
And
have it.
they want it cleared up. You're going to tell me the Cowboys want another stain on that jersey of like all the stuff with Michael Irvin, all the stuff in the 80s and the 90s of all the cocaine and the craziness and the parties and whatever the heck was going on. You think they're going to want more drama associated with that organization? That's the last thing they want.
Well, it's funny too because they, we make fun of the Washington Redskins or sorry, the Washington Commanders for their history and it's just like, well, I don't know if Cowboys can say much with the with this
I
hanging
mean,
over
as
their
of
heads
late,
and
it's really been drama with them. It's not been like, oh, crazy,
yeah,
Well, there's been some legal stuff, but I mean, some of that's just
not this
marijuana
bad.
related. But it's like, like a lot of the other stuff is, is either DUI or drugs,
Yeah.
more marijuana, really. But mostly it's just drama. They've had
Yeah.
a lot of drama, like, what's Dak going to do, all that stuff. But this
This is different.
you really got to prove if he's wrong, prove it. And if you have nothing, then that's why you have no evidence. You're not giving anything up. The NFL doesn't want it shown. Like, get out of here, get your money, and please just leave.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you say that because this guy worked for this team for 32 years. They didn't even mention his retirement on their Dallas Cowboy website. No mention of this guy retiring. So the second accusation and story kind of makes you wonder what are the Dallas Cowboys hiding with it? Because, like I said, simple video would prove him right or wrong. This goes a little deeper, right to Jerry Jones' daughter. Rich was accused of taking pictures of Jerry Jones' daughter's skirt in the 2015 draft day. There are videos this is what I'm talking about. There's videos where you can go on the Dallas Cowboy website and watch what they call the war room every time they draft somebody. You can go watch those videos from all the past. I don't know how far it goes back, but every video you can watch except the 2015 video is not there. You can't find it. And that's the video that they say they claim to see him take his camera out and take pictures up Jerry Jones' daughter's skirt. And um there's actually I think this happens every year with them, if I'm not mistaken. They get a fan that actually wins a contest and gets to be inside that war room with the Dallas Cowboys when they draft a player. They drafted
Brian will be there this year.
Byron Jones. I would love to go. I would definitely go. But they would draft Byron Jones, and you can't find that video. So
Don't
like,
screw their draft up, Brian. Okay, just don't start picking random stuff
people.
and being like, Jerry, pick this guy.
So here's obviously the biggest concern with this whole thing. Obviously, other than Rich Dalrymple probably being a predator, or potentially, if Jerry Jones knew this about the pictures of his daughter up his skirt, the alleged pictures, and still continued to employ this guy,
Why?
that
What is so significant about this guy?
that would be so disgustingly mind blowing. They talk about on the radio. I would believe the cheerleader one story more than I would believe that this second story about taking pictures with Jerry Jones and his whole family in the room of his daughter's skirt. Why it's being videotaped? That story is.
But then how do you excuse the fact that video is not up?
That's exactly.
That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly. That's why
that video's not up. What do you do?
Where is this video? Where's this video? The fan that won that contest said he saw this happen.
Okay, well, I mean, again, I'll say this much. The Cowboy fans are absolutely rabid. Okay, these are insane people, and they will, no matter what, they will defend this team to the ends of the earth. Yeah. And the fact that their fan said this was going on says a lot.
I just don't.
That says a lot.
This story would be hard to be true, just because Rich Dalrymple obviously knows this thing is being videotaped with with Jerry Jones right next to him in the room with it. So this one's hard for me to believe. But then you go and the videotape's not there. The videotapes, not that they don't have the videotape of him, the cheerleaders, they do. They're not going to release it to us.
Right.
It's just mind-blowing story. And to me, the biggest, obviously, other than the accusations, if they're true or not, if Jerry Jones knew about this and still kept this guy on and paid him for years after, would be outrageous. Jeff, I'm a father of 4 girls. If this is going on to one of my daughters, I mean, I'm ending a life, right? I'm throwing hands. This that that serious.
Well, that's the question. That's the question everyone wants to know. Why did he keep this guy around, knowing that possibly happened? And the fact that we're going to assume it did is because there's no video of it now. And then you have a fan who's going to defend this team no matter what happens, because that's how their fan base is. They'll excuse things, DWIs, cocaine, all this stuff. They'll excuse things. But this fan said, no, this went on. And I know it did. Right. That it says something right there. When your own fan says, hey, that's even more screwed up than this other stuff that, we defend. And I'm not going to back that.
And it's so when you have multiple stories of like this guy, that's when it's like, like you look at the Deshaun Watson's case. He has 1 or 2 women. Okay, there's 23. It's like, wow, there's 23 women. That makes it look a lot worse.
Right. It's just, what does this guy possess that Jerry Jones is like, yes, we have to keep this guy no matter what happens. Daughter, sorry. So team comes first.
Someone said on 105.3 The Fan that if Jerry Jones knew this happened, or if this happened, he would not have continued to. That guy would have been gone. But
would he? What is going? What does this guy do? Brian. What is he? What is this?
He
This
covers up.
special? Yeah, but I mean, is he that good?
I guess, Jeff. I don't know. I don't know. I have no clue.
How is he that good? Because it seems like in the press, the Cowboys have been nothing but drama filled for 27 years. Has he been doing his job?
I don't know what he's doing. He's obviously not doing anything anymore. But, yeah, just the Cowboys in the light right now, not for a good look. We didn't even mention the Coach McCarthy stuff.
Oh yeah, that
is like
throwing your team under the bus, throwing team your. I mean, honestly, you're basically ratting your own self out. that's the funny part.
With
you're
that whole
saying
thing,
you're not coaching well.
The whole thing, like him coming out and saying like he didn't expect to be, because he's talking about how all the coaching drama this off season, and I don't know about you, Jeff, but coaches don't turn down head coaching jobs to be coordinators.
No,
it doesn't happen. So Jerry says, oh, he comes on and Dan Quinn turned down head coaching jobs to be our coordinator. That did not happen. Okay. I can't be naive. That did not happen one bit. What happened was Dan Quinn didn't get a head coaching job, and the Giants said, hey, we're not going to hire you. So he continued to stay where he was in Dallas. And Coach McCarthy comes on the radio talking about how, and look, Coach McCarthy doesn't like to talk to the press. He doesn't like to do that, right?
Then why would he go work for the Cowboys? I mean, you need to be talking. I mean, that's the gimmick. It's like going to the Yankees and going, oh, I don't like talking to the press.
Well, they're wondering.
They're wondering.
I mean, he does his obligated, but this was random, right?
Call
the press up. Hey, I want to.
You're going to be under the microscope all the time.
Yeah. Well, he talked about how he didn't expect it to be like this, and they're openly. Just think about that. He's been there 2 seasons, and they're openly already talking about his replacement. Jerry Jones is talking to Mike McCarthy about his replacement.
I'm saying, I'm going to say something right here. And this may sound like I'm, hating on them or whatever. I'm sorry, but I'm so glad I'm not a fan of this franchise. This is such a mess. This is not going to end well. You're going, no one's going to come out of this without egg on their face. Like, it's just going to be freaking ridiculous. And I'll say this much. Cowboy fans, you're excited Dan Quinn came back. Yeah, he's great. But I think he's a good coordinator. I don't think he'll be a great coach. And I think there's a reason he didn't get a job. Even people here, like I was listening to sports talk radio stuff here, and they were saying we like Dan Quinn because he's a great coach, because he's a great coordinator, but as a coach, we kind of have questions.
Right.
And it's like, okay.
He's got to prove that. And
sure.
He did. I mean, he got the Falcons to the Super Bowl. They did fail in the Super Bowl miserably.
But I mean, you caught lightning in a bottle once. Can you do it again? Can you do it consistently? I honestly think that the next coach of this team, it's a very big possibility that it's Sean Payton. If they got Sean Payton, the Cowboys would be in a great position. If you're going to go with Dan Quinn, I don't know. The defense will be good, but it's the same thing. What happened to Denver? The defense was good, but when it came to the offense, guess what he did? Oh, that's Shermer's thing. It's like, oh, but you're not a coach then. You're a coordinator. We're paying you head coaching money to be a coordinator.
That's what Mike McCarthy does.
Right.
I don't call the offense. I don't call the defense. It's like, well, then what the heck do you do? Like, Eric, like you go look at Kansas City. You got Eric Bieniemy, who's the offensive coordinator, and Andy Reid, who's the head coach. But Andy Reid calls the offense.
Right.
So there's no question marks on who's the head man. There's no question marks on.
The future of coaching in the NFL today is offensive-minded coaches.
Yes.
Defensive-minded coaches are starting to fade away. I get it. You have the Bill Belichick's in the world, but that's rare. That's a unicorn. You don't find those very often. But for the most part, offensive-minded coaches, you're seeing it time in and time out, are starting to get success, and they're starting to do better than the defensive-minded coaches. Same with the Broncos. They had 4 coaches were defensive coaches. Finally, we got an offensive-minded guy. So I'm like, okay, the last time we had an offensive-minded coach, guess what? Super Bowl championships, playoff appearances. There's reasons why that doesn't work. I don't know why, but for some reason in the NFL today, that does not work anymore.
Times have changed. All right, Jeff. Well, we got a little off topic there at the end of that spotlight, but that is your spotlight of the week. Let us know, guys, how you feel about this story. It just seems.
I mean, we all know
fishy.
at this point that he's a piece of crap. That's what we know. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if anyone's listening and they're going to defend this guy, don't listen.
All right, guys. Let's jump into the headlines of the week, Jeff.
All right.
All right, Jeff. Well, in the headlines, we've got some interesting drama to talk about, QB wise, in 2 different places. This is coming out of 2 different places. All right, number 1, Arizona and versus Kyle Murray. Let's put them on. Let's put them on stand here and let the jury decide. Now, there's trouble brewing, Jeff. They're not happy with each other. They're not happy. Kyle Murray is not. Kyler, I think you call him Kyle. Kyler Murray is not happy with the front office, and the front office is not happy with Kyle Murray. Reports, if the reports are true, Kyle said he's being the scapegoat for why they lost against the Rams in the early playoff exit and why the season didn't end up better than it did. Front office says Kyle is immature. Now, this next one is true because it did happen, and it's a bad look for Kyle Murray. Kyler Murray reportedly refused to go back on the field in the playoff game for the last 2 snaps of the game. He said he's done. Well, there's no point. There's no chance of them winning this game. They were down by a lot. And they played like crap. I mean, own up to it, man. You only threw for 114 yards that game. That was pathetic performance. He refused. They say, hey, Kyle, go back in and oh no, I'm done. I refuse. Colt McCoy, the backup, had to go in and take the final 2 snaps of the playoff season for the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, got to be in a playoff game.
Yeah. This is bad. This is bad for them because obviously Kyler Murray, I keep calling him Kyle. Kyler Murray is their star quarterback. Now, I'm going to throw this out there, Jeff, and I've thought this for a while, and my buddy that jumped on with Ryan Sims, Kyler Murray is overrated as a quarterback, in my opinion. He's good, but he's overrated. And this team has to decide a way to make him happy. They're talking about trades and this. I don't think they're going to go that far to trade this guy. I just don't see that happening. I think they settle down. There's also reports that Kyler Murray went into the front office and demanded things. And one of the demands was they trade for CeeDee Lamb from the Dallas Cowboys, which that ain't going to happen either.
Why?
Because they played together in Oklahoma.
Well, I get it, but it's like
that's why.
That doesn't make any sense.
What are you giving up one of the best wide receivers in the league as in DeAndre Hopkins? Like, what are you trading for the guy?
But it doesn't make any sense because ultimately the Cowboys are, they got a defense, but I mean, they're mostly, their offense is, I don't know. That doesn't make sense. That's dumb.
Well, they would trade for him because they think they have a connection. But what are you trading for? It does. Kyle Murray.
You don't have any chips to trade. That's the thing. You don't have high draft picks.
I mean,
there's nothing to trade.
They have DeAndre Hopkins, but
they have DeAndre Hopkins. But
him up.
Wasn't he injured? Like, it's just.
Well, he's injured last year.
Come on,
he's not injury prone.
Well, you're going to tell me that his draft capital went up because he got hurt? Went down. Like, nobody knows what he's like. Going to be like after that injury. So that's a gamble.
I guarantee you, if they traded DeAndre Hopkins for CeeDee Lamb, you take that trade in Dallas.
It's a gamble.
Take that trade.
It's a gamble.
Well, it also depends on what you're doing with in Dallas, what you're doing with Amari Cooper. But we're not talking about Dallas Cowboys here, Jeff. We're
Right.
talking about Arizona Cardinals.
Right. Well, that's just a dumb. I think that's a stupid trade. No, that was never going to happen. So
It's never gonna happen.
Kyler Murray sitting there saying crap like that, demands on like that from his team is idiotic.
Yes, and Kyle Murray walked in there, dropped his pants, put his penis on the table, and he's gonna find out.
Kids listening, Brian.
They're gonna find out real fast that he's gonna find out real fast. He doesn't have the pull I think he thinks he has. I don't think though that this is gonna end in a divorce and a split up and a trade and all that stuff. It's just not. I think it's gonna happen.
It would be interesting if there was a trade. And the one team that comes to mind is New Orleans.
New Orleans.
That would be interesting.
The Indianapolis Colts. They're apparently ready to trade Carson Wentz and move on from him after 1 year.
Sure.
But
it can't be like it can't be like Pittsburgh. I think he's too much of an attitude there. Like I think that would clash.
I could see Pittsburgh.
Well, I think he would clash with the coach.
Well, Tom ain't gonna take no,
and that's what I'm saying. Like he did he didn't take any crap from Antonio Brown either. So it's like I don't think he wants an attitude. I think he wants a guy to go out there. He facilitates stuff. The guy goes and does his job, and that's it. And not no talk back, no drama, no nothing. And I think there's
I get you.
Yeah.
My biggest issue with this whole story itself is Kyle Murray played poorly. Kyler Murray played horrible in the postseason. This team was the number one team in the NFL in the NFC at least for half the season.
Well, but I mean, even if you're a talented team, I think that if there's rifts in the armor behind the scenes, it can cause people
hear me
to
out.
Not care, not want to play, not just not motivated.
Hear me out. Where I'm going with this team faltered down the end. Kyle Murray, as a leader, right, as the quarterback, has to own up to that. He has to own up to his poor play. Man up. You're going to have haters at all parts of your life, whether you're doing good or bad. You're going to get some of the blame for that poor, horrible play against the Rams. You just got to put your head down and go to work and get better next year. But to me, he seems like a little crybaby right now saying, oh, I'm being blamed for the loss. As a leader, you take that blame. Even if
True.
I don't care. Like
as a quarterback, especially as a quarterback.
As a quarterback, to me, when you're a quarterback, you're the leader. You're one of the leaders of the team. They automatically in position demand you be a leader, right? Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, the greats, the elite quarterbacks, the great leaders. Dak Prescott, he's not an elite quarterback, but Dak Prescott has great leadership abilities. They take the loss on them every game. Even if Tom Brady went out there and threw 5 touchdowns, 500 yards, and they lost the game, do you think he's over here crying but blaming something else? Or blaming, oh, I'm not the skate. Look how good I played. No, I could have done better today. Own up to it, Kyle Murray. Own up to it. That's all I'm saying.
It doesn't look good. I think that it's possible that it can get fixed, but I mean, it depends on the fact that the organization came out and said some stuff. The front office, that's not good. That doesn't look good. So I it's possible that maybe it gets fixed. But man, this doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good. When you have a guy that hasn't won much, and they're demanding things, that's just not a good look.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen here. There's and as soon as that started going around, of course you got the rumblings here. It's like, oh, what's Denver going to do? Is Denver going to get him? I'm like, once I heard some of the stories, I'm like, yeah, I don't think Denver's going to get him. They don't want any drama and a player that's prima donna, and no, the Broncos don't want any part of that. They'd rather stick with Drew Lock than deal with any of that crap.
Jeff, so. You're getting Aaron Rodgers. Don't you fret there, buddy.
Well, he's drama filled too. So what am I going to do?
He is strong. He is definitely drama field. But hey, at least his play on the field is better than
That's
Kyle.
true. He doesn't give up.
All right, Jeff. Well, number 2, trouble out in Kansas City, the team you hate the most. This has got to put a big smile on your face.
There's a tornado.
Reports coming out of Kansas City that Mahomes isn't getting along with Eric Bieniemy. Okay, Bieniemy is the offensive coordinator. We just talked about that a while ago. He doesn't call the offense. But
so could we say that Eric is now the enemy
Eric
of Mahomes?
Eric Bieniemy is the enemy. Is he being the scapegoat here? Is he being the person they're blaming? Right, he's not calling the offensive plays. Now there is reports. The play in the playoffs before half, the last play that the Kansas City threw the ball to the flat to Tyreek Hill, he didn't get in the end zone, didn't get out of bounds. Patrick Mahomes signaled for timeout. They didn't have any timeouts left, so he looked a little foolish there. Eric Bieniemy is reportedly the one who told Mahomes, "You have a timeout left." That cost him a touchdown.
I got a lot to say about this.
That could cost him a game. Eric Bieniemy apparently is the one who told him that, and told him other things throughout the season that's kind of didn't match well with Mahomes. Maybe if Mahomes doesn't think he has a timeout there, maybe he goes for the end zone instead of risking Tyreek Hill getting in from the 5 or whatnot. So I don't know. To me, this sounds like Eric Bieniemy is being the scapegoat here because Andy Reid calls the offense. Mahomes is an elite quarterback, and he's got to take a lot of the blame. Eric Bieniemy doesn't draw up the offensive plays. Now he's there; he has the offensive mind and stuff, but I don't know. That's my biggest question? Is he being the scapegoat for why they failed this last season? And I say failed, and they're a Super Bowl or bust.
I mean, yeah,
every
it's
year,
Super Bowl
right?
or bust, so it's a fail. I mean, it's no different than the
yeah.
Lakers. It's championship or bust every year because it's a franchise. Same thing with the Yankees. It's the same thing. Like
Right.
And that's just because that's what the history has said in the franchise. So it's like, yeah, sure. And in particular, recently, he's one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. And yeah, it's Super Bowl or bust. Here's the problem, though. And this is what I said all season long. He has not been good. I'm sorry. Something is wrong. Something is amiss in that system. I don't know what it is, but Patrick Mahomes has not been Patrick Mahomes this year. He hasn't done it this year. This team has relied on that defense all season. He has thrown interceptions. He has been inaccurate. He has overthrown players, underthrown players, getting sacked. Like, there's something going on in this organization. I don't know what's going on, but there's a lot of excuses now. There's a lot of finger pointing because why not? He's on his way out.
Well, we don't know.
Eric Bieniemy was getting interviewed by tons of teams, so he may be on his way out. So why not throw him under the bus? Why not? Who cares?
We don't know that.
But again, even if that's not true, and that was being said, you're going to tell me that relationship's going to be good after that? Does he want to come back?
The one interesting aspect, other than all of it, is last year you heard Eric Bieniemy's name everywhere on getting interviewed. Did you hear that this year? You didn't. You didn't hear his name out. You didn't hear his name getting interviewed. I don't know why. Maybe behind the scenes someone knows something. The biggest thing with Mahomes this season, Jeff, and you're right, there's something missing this season. Teams are caught up to how to kind of control Tyreek Hill and what's the tight end's name?
Kelsey.
Travis Kelce. That Mahomes isn't patient enough to drive down the field and dink and dunk and take those long drives. That's not who he is, right? He takes the big plays, throws downfield all game long. That's what he'll work on this offseason, but that's what I've seen. That's what analysts have talked about is his inability to take those drives and make the short throws consistently. Not like he can't, but he doesn't. He's impatient with it. Is what I'm saying. But I honestly think Eric Bieniemy being the scapegoat, thrown under the bus by Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes here, and that's what I think is interesting about this. His name was all over the coaching carousel last season, and he not this season. not the
Well,
season. I'm like,
I will say his name was thrown around a lot here, and people got excited because they were like, "Oh
well,
yeah, you're gonna, we might have that defensive mind, of a mentality." His name was thrown around here,
thrown around's different than actually being interviewed for a job.
right? So
Last year, he
I
was
don't think it
interviewed for a
was
lot.
serious. I don't think the Broncos were serious, but his name was one of the many names that were supposedly on the list to talk to.
Yeah.
Out of the 9-10 people that they interviewed, I think he was on that list. But I think during the playoffs, somewhere they decided to just not interview him. I guess they just scratched off the list. I have no clue. But his name was supposedly on that list of 10 coaches that they wanted to interview, including Dan Quinn and Hackett and so on and so forth. But when are we gonna finally say, you know what? It's up to Mahomes. Mahomes is the leader of this team. You're supposed to know how many timeouts you have.
Yes.
Why are you relying on your coach?
That is
Look up
your
at the
job.
scoreboard. It's as
That's your
tall
job.
as a freaking skyscraper.
That's like
Look.
getting to delay a game and then him blaming the coach. You didn't tell me the clock was
Yeah.
up around.
You didn't tell me the clock was down to 2 seconds, 1 second. It's like, are you serious?
That's why it's like that story kind of is like, wait a minute, you don't know how many timeouts. You're an elite quarterback
Exactly.
in the NFL.
Exactly.
You get paid to do all these amazing things.
We
and
lost, so we can't say it's Mahomes not paying attention.
Yeah.
We gotta blame someone else.
Yeah, to me, it seems like a scapegoat for Eric Bieniemy. But
Yes.
all right, Jeff. Well, this next one we didn't get to discuss the Super Bowl together.
Super Bowl.
Or on here, really, and then that's,
Foosball.
that's our bad. I should have done a TikTok on it. Number one, we're going to talk about our Super Bowl and our thoughts on the game and the halftime show and the commercials. And the commercials were garbage, like they usually are every year. The halftime show to me was fantastic, but the game itself is what we mostly care about. Now, I same thing with the Chiefs. I said my head tells me the Chiefs are going to beat the Bengals. My gut tells me to go with the Bengals. I've been wrong all season or all playoffs with my head. So give me the Bengals. They win. I did the same thing. My head said the Rams defense is going to be too much for the offensive line of the Bengals, but go with the Bengals anyways. And I was wrong on that front. The defense won this game for the Rams. It wasn't Matthew Stafford who threw 2 interceptions. It wasn't. It was this defense and the poor play of the offensive line for the Bengals. Refs throw in there as well. The Bengals had this. They should have won this game, Jeff. They had this game, and they hold Cooper Kupp the whole game until the fourth quarter, and it's all of a sudden they changed up their defense, and then Cooper Kupp goes off, and they end up scoring. They win the game. Congratulations to the Rams. There are a lot of players on that team that deserve a ring. Aaron Donald, OBJ, Sean McVay coming as the youngest head coach to win a ring. Matthew Stafford living up to his expectations and getting the job done from Detroit. Kudos to him. I don't have anything against Matthew Stafford. I just don't think I think he got bailed out for his defense in a lot of games this year. But
sorry,
are you talking? I'm like, they got bailed out by the defense in a lot of games this season.
But coming into a new system, like I think Matthew Stafford did pretty well. I think that it's a new system, new coaching. That's a lot of pressure. To all of a sudden you would go from no one's really paying attention to you because you're on the Lions and no one's expecting anything to you're expected to go to the Super Bowl. It was Super Bowl or bust, and everyone knew that when it came to the Rams because of how who they had talent-wise on the team,
how they get the talent,
right, and the amount of pieces they had. It was Super Bowl or bust. That's a lot of pressure for a quarterback who's been really running under the radar for many years. So I think that for his first real experience in those kind of pressure games, he did the best he can do. I think that he will be better next year. I think he'll learn a lot more and become more enmeshed with other teams, and they probably will bring in a few more people or whatever, and maybe even bring back some people. But
Well, yeah, that's a
but
big talk.
but again, I don't think that it's not like Matthew Stafford was horrible he wasn't it's not like it's funny because we praised him with the Lions, right? We're like, hey, he's great. The Lions are trash. But now it's like, well, he's all right.
I wouldn't say great. He was good. He was good for what he had in Detroit.
Right.
He comes here. He's on a loaded team. Let's not be mistaken. Loaded
Sure.
defense.
Why not?
Loaded
Why not?
offense. He won. Now, what's interesting with him, first of all, well, he was an interception. If the 49ers caught an easy interception, then they don't win that game, usually, most likely. But
right.
And that's the way. That's what happens to Super Bowl teams a lot of times. You have to have a lot of luck in your lap.
That is also true.
I understand that.
That is also true.
I'm not trying to take anything away from him. He had a lot of drives when it counted, right? That's the thing that's weird about him. He'll throw 2 interceptions, but when the game is on the line, he'll take that final drive and he'll look like a perfect quarterback.
It looked good. The last drive
looked great.
Damn,
the Bengals stopped playing defense like they have all night for some reason. Once Joe Burrow injured his knee, I said, "Man, he has no chance. There's no chance."
And then Stafford was also supposedly, I don't know if he was dealing with an ankle thing. His ankle did roll.
Oh, that ankle got rolled up on bad.
And so there was a lot of questionable, like, is this guy hurt? Like, we know Burrow was hurt. And obviously Odell Beckham was out, and
he was out.
That one's pretty bad.
Tore his ACL again.
And same one. And then, obviously Stafford rolled his, and you saw that lineman just roll on his ankle. And I'm like, so it was there was a lot of questionable, like, is this dude even healthy to be out here right now? Is he gonna even do well?
Eric Weddle played the whole 3 quarters with a torn bicep. Ripped bicep. Talk about a guy who didn't play for 2 years. They signed him before the playoffs, and he played 20 games against the Cardinals, and then he played the rest of the snaps of the Super Bowl. Played the last 3 quarters of the Super Bowl with a torn pec. Actually, they showed his picture. That's all bruised. Talk about heart. Talk about character. Fight. Like,
I'll say this:
taking me off this field. You'll have to take me off this field in the ambulance if I'm coming off.
I liked this Super Bowl a lot. I think that it was a fun game, and both teams deserved it. Both teams had players that were fighting to get there and get the job done. And you could tell 2 organizations who haven't been there in a long time. I don't even know if the Bengals have ever been there. And like, I think they've been there, but I don't think they've won.
They've never won. They've been there.
So, I mean, it's like it was a great Super Bowl. You want to know why? Because no one cared who won. That's why people watched it, because it was fun. Yeah. It was a fun thing. It wasn't like, oh, it's Tom Brady and the Steelers, or not Tom Brady and the Steelers. It's the Tampa Bay versus you had it right. Tom Brady versus anybody. Right. Yeah. And we all want to root against Tom Brady. But it's just like you have all these little pieces that have always been there. It's boring. I don't care. Right. Yeah. And now this was the first time in a long, long, long time that I can remember where I'm like, heck yeah. Like, other than the time the Broncos were there, whatever, other than the time, like, obviously Green Bay was there. We hadn't seen them win in a while. It was a long time. And they finally did. And so it was just kind of like, it was great. But I mean, but before that though, but it was like through all those other years, it was Seattle, Tom Brady.
This is the first NFC Championship Series, AFC Championship, like the divisional, or not the divisional, the AFC and NFC Championship that didn't have Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, or Big Ben in it in like 12 years.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, it was just, I'm just saying, I look at it and I'm like, it was fun to watch. Like, I could care less what teams. I wanted Von Miller to get a ring, obviously, because he's one of my favorite players of all time. And a lot of people here wanted that. So it was just like, it was just a fun game to watch. It was getting down to the wire, and I love defenses, and it was a very defense heavy game. But very low scoring game. I knew it was going to be a low scoring game.
Did you see the last play and how wide open? If Burrow had time, they won that game right there. Did you see that play?
There was he missed a guy.
Well, he missed the guy because within half a second, he was wrapped up by the offsides Aaron Donald that they didn't call. But Jalen Ramsey was on the ground, and Jamar Chase is running wide open down the sideline.
There's another video of the offsides Aaron Donald thing. God. And actually that he went back behind the line before the snap. There's 2 videos of that. But
here's my problem. We're getting into the refs here, Jeff, because that's our heated debate. Here's my problem with the refs.
It was. What are you talking about? It was,
here's my problem.
Get out of here. How many flags? How many flags were thrown?
I don't
4
care.
Flags.
It doesn't matter. If those flags are wrong, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Here's my problem with the refs, Jeff.
We're gonna call the face mask, right? Or no?
Look,
because that was definitely.
That
resulted in a touchdown, Brian.
That was definitely offensive pass interference. Okay. Here's my issue. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not gonna say it wasn't pass interference. My problem with the refs, Jeff. They've called this game all day of letting them play and battle. Not like you said, there hasn't been a damn flag all game. Mm-hmm. Within 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, we're going to just change it and flag. You've been calling, let them play. You've been letting them play the whole daggum game, and you get a BS first down because of a apparent holding, which was not holding on the lineman. It was a damn good play on the best wide receiver in the league, and you call up holding, who gives them a whole first down, and it leads them actually winning the game. That's my problem with the refs, Jeff. If you're going to call a game,
actually, it wasn't that play that
you call it all. It gave them the game. Okay. No. That was first and goal. That was first and goal from 5. You're not stopping that team within 5 yards.
You still had to stop them.
It's BS. You're not going to stop them.
And then the second time they did, so it was interesting.
The second time that was pass interference. I'm like, okay, this game's after that first penalty. I was like, well, that's the game. It's going to be over.
So here's the deal, and this is how Brian. And again, I understand. I understand, but you didn't say those kinds of things when the Packers played the Cowboys, and there was a couple of BS calls on that one as well. But let's and that was many years ago.
What are you talking about? I mean, which game are you talking about?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Brian?
I don't know. Don't explain it to me.
Oh, really? Des Bryant. Wasn't it the Packers, Brian?
Yeah, when he dropped the ball.
No, he didn't drop the ball.
Yeah.
He got the touchdown, Brian.
No, he didn't get the touchdown.
It called him out of bounds, and he wasn't out of bounds. Anyway, that's beside.
I don't know what you're talking about. I thought you were talking about the catch.
I'm pretty sure it was. We'll have to look it up.
Look it up, bro.
Anyway,
you cannot call a game for 3.5 quarters one way, and then the 2-minute warning, you start throwing flags and ticky-tacky BS calls.
I am going to say this. This is how that was a blatant miss, by the way. So this is how I judge. This is how I judge stuff. Okay, if it's my team, right? And let's say that they didn't call Von Miller offsides on the Broncos and Von Miller's still playing, whatever. He's gotten offside calls a million times in his career because he's trying to go faster than the speed of lightning. So let's just say that they didn't call him, right? He get in there and he got the sack. Now the guy didn't fumble the ball, or let's say he did fumble the ball and the Broncos got it back. The Broncos get the ball. If they don't score a touchdown, they score a field goal, right? The next time there's a questionable call, and it's against the Denver Broncos. Let's say, it was holding, and you're like, really? That was kind of an iffy hold. I don't know. You kind of look at it back and go, well, Von Miller did go offsides, and that resulted in 3 points, or that resulted in a touchdown. Whatever. Giveth and taketh. It's fine. It balanced it out. It's an even now. Whatever. It is what it is. So when they blatantly didn't call the face mask, which resulted in a touchdown, which is huge because this game was already low scoring, it changed things a little bit where I go, if they want to make that right, they're going to miss a call to even this out. And again, right when I saw that play, I go, hold
on, Jeff.
There's the even.
The makeup calls do happen, but you don't make up a call. You don't that was the first play of the third quarter. You're not going to make up a call 2 minutes in the fourth quarter.
They still had to stop him. And
You're
then
not
on
going to
top of all,
stop
no, no,
them.
no,
You're
listen,
first
listen,
and goal from like the
listen.
4-yard
On
line.
top of all that, you gave Joe Burrow a minute 38
with
to go
with
down the
no offensive
field.
line,
Oh my God! Go
no
down the
offensive
field.
line,
He threw a
and
70. He threw a
bum knee, bro.
75-yard touchdown pass in the game. Obviously, it was the face mask pass, but he threw it. It's
Hey,
not like they can't do it.
They did miss. They did miss that face mask. I'm not saying they didn't. I'm just saying if you're not gonna be ticky-tacky and let them play, you got to let them play 2 minutes in the
Right.
fourth. That's all
But
I'm
there
saying.
were multiple opportunities in this game for those defenses to stop them. Guess who had the best one? The Rams. They had the better defense
Oh no, definitely. That's not even
by
They had
far.
one of the best defenses in the NFL.
So whenever you're putting that into play, Joe Burrow, no different than Aaron Rodgers. You gave Aaron Rodgers a minute 30. Guess what? He has a very big possibility of coming down to score.
You cannot
if Joe
compare Aaron
Burrow
Rodgers
wants
and Joe
to
Burrow
play
together,
in the
brother.
lights, then let's play in the
You
lights.
cannot compare Joe
I'm
Burrow
not
and Aaron Rodgers.
comparing, but I'm saying
But you
that's
can't
enough
say
time
you
to
basically
try
did
to do
compare 'em.
something.
Yes, it is. But when you have Aaron Rodgers, you got
And
an
on the play that he
way
got on the
better
play that
opportunity.
on the play that he got sacked, someone was open.
I know.
Blatantly.
I know. And they didn't block Aaron Donald after being offsides. But that's let's digress here. Jeff, speaking of those questions, the biggest question coming out of the Super Bowl is now this is number 4. I'm going to make it number 4 since we're talking football here. Is Matthew Stafford a Hall of Famer? I'll let you answer this one first, Jeff.
If they go again, he has a better season. If he has an
No. I'm talking about
now.
Right
Now.
Yeah. Say he
No.
retires tomorrow.
No.
Hall of Fame. Okay. Thank you. People are like, "Oh, this guy is definitely Hall." No. Is Phillip Rivers a Hall of Famer, Jeff? No. I'll answer that question for you. Phillip Rivers is not a Hall of Famer.
He's
got better numbers.
He was
career
great.
numbers.
His statistic numbers are really good, and there's obviously an argument to be had in terms of how he was probably one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever be a part of the Chargers franchise. And so that's also going to be up to what Herbert does. But he was a dangerous quarterback. I didn't like playing against him.
Phillip Rivers was good.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer? No. Matthew Stafford right now? No.
No.
Matthew Stafford 3 years from now?
Maybe.
Could be.
Maybe if they go back to the Super Bowl and they repeat.
If they go repeat, if he has a couple NFC championship, yeah, I could see that. We're talking about right now, today. With the Super Bowl.
Right now, today, no. But if he has an MVP style season next season and he gets better, yes. And they win a Super Bowl, yes.
Well, and I agree with Richard Sherman. The Hall of Fame is becoming, and it's supposed to be hard to get in the Hall of Fame. We're supposed to have really high standards. And one of my high standards, Jeff, was Matthew Stafford his whole career ever considered one of the best quarterback of his time? And I don't think he has. He's competed against Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning. Those of Eli Manning will get into the Hall of Fame because 2 rings and his defense.
Yeah.
But to me, he's not a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's never, ever. Go look at his numbers. They're not very good. He has horrible interception numbers.
He's one of the few teams that was able to take down the giant Goliath.
Yeah. And he's going to get in. I don't think he should, but he will get in. Tony Romo is a better quarterback, in my opinion, than Eli Manning ever was, but he's not going to get in.
Right.
So Super Bowl helped out Eli get in. I'm not saying you have to have Super Bowl to get in, but we have to higher.
Helps. It kind of helps.
It definitely helps.
So.
I'm not saying it does definitely help, but to me, that's the question of them saying he's already Hall of Famer is not. No, he's not. He's not.
And Tom Brady's not getting in.
Get out of here. All right, Jeff. Well, this last headline of the week here is it's college football, and we've talked all college football here, or all football here, and I got one more breaking news here that happened today, but
we may even talk about the new football league. Who knows?
And I meant to look that up. I knew I was missing something. Dang it!
Yeah, missed the new football league.
I did miss the new football league. That's gonna fail, but they all do, Jeff. All right. I watched them all, and they all failed.
Well, but again, they never stick around. That's the problem. And I was telling my wife that I'm like, if they can stick around, the only reason the NFL is so big is because it's been around for 70, 80 some years. Like, are you serious? Like,
Well, and the play is a lot better.
well, but again,
A lot
it's
better.
also history, right?
Yeah,
It's also legacies.
We're
It's
not
all these
willing
things.
to put up with bad play if we can just wait for good play down the road.
Right, but some people just want to watch play.
Right. All right, Jeff. Well, I knew I was forgetting something. Dang it. This is college football, and Jim Harbaugh signs a new 5-year extension with the Wolverines. Why? Why, Jeff? Why? This guy, every season is going to be, he says he's not. It was Minnesota Vikings job for him or bust. Okay, he didn't get that job. He's like, I'm going to be in Michigan. I'm done with the NFL. Every year you're going to have that question about, oh, is Jim Harbaugh going to come back? Is he going to come back? And he hasn't done anything. He's underachieved, Jeff. The only time he's done something was last year when they finally beat Ohio State, Jeff. That's their Super Bowl. That's the biggest, one of the biggest, if not the biggest rivalry in college football. He finally beat them. He's 1-5 against them. They did good last season. Other than that, he's been mediocre. He's lost to Ohio State. Like, this is how seriously they take that, Jeff. If I was to become the Michigan head coach and I lost every single game of the season except the Ohio State game, they would go, congratulations. You beat the one team we care about beating. This guy's underachieved. They ink another 5-year deal. I just don't understand why. I was like, why?
Who else are they going to get? I mean, it's just like, it is what it is. I think he obviously convinced somebody in there that he's doing a good job. He knows what he's doing.
I mean, maybe players are coming to play for him. I don't know.
He's not coming back to the NFL. So I don't know where. I don't know what team would be willing to give him another chance. Maybe a desperate team. But
the interesting news that broke today is Brian Flores is being signed on with the Pittsburgh Steelers to be a defensive assistant.
Nice.
So that's a good pickup for them.
Their defense is going to get better.
In all honesty, he's not the defensive coordinator, but he's defensive assistant.
Right. So
now
that's going to open up doors, though. That's a good organization to be a part of. I'm sorry, but it is.
No, it is.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are awesome. Yeah, I love the
fantastic head coach.
Right.
That being said, I talked about this last week. Houston Texans picked Lovie Smith over Brian Flores.
Okay.
You cannot logically, as a fan base of any fan base, as a person with a brain in their head, pick Lovie Smith over Brian Flores. Can't do it, Jeff. Okay. Brian Flores came out and said, congratulations, Lovie Smith, but, how do you not pick me, right? Basically. I honestly think they said, Houston, you better not pick Brian Flores. He cannot be a head coach. Pittsburgh Steelers picked him up. I thought he was going to be blackballed. I'm glad they're giving him a position. I think their defense will be awesome, and it's already good, right? But I think.
Do you think Mike Tomlin's on his way out?
No.
Like at some point, and then maybe this guy
obviously
may take. Well, yeah, but I mean, like this guy, this might take over.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have had 3 coaches since their whole existence, 3 or 4 coaches. It's insane,
right?
Brian Flores or Mike Tomlin will be there as long as basically he wants to be,
right?
Could he groom him to be the head coach? I could see.
I could see that.
Brian Flores is way overqualified to be a head coach. He's way overqualified to be that defensive assistant. I mean,
there's got to be something to this.
He's fantastic.
I think there's got to definitely be something to this.
When you come from the Bill Belichick tree, Bill Belichick's a hard ass, Jeff. We all know that, right? Show up.
Yeah, I know. I should know. I felt it.
Do your job. You what?
I felt it. Got a hard ass. Oh, I kid.
You do your job. That's the simple. That's the something he plaques above the locker room as they leave out. Do your job. That's all he's asking you to do, right?
Yeah.
So that was the questions brought up in Miami is maybe he's too tough. There was rumors about him telling Tua Tagovailoa if I should have drafted I should have drafted what's his face? Mac Jones. If I knew you were going to be this bad. Some people don't get along with that kind of. So maybe he goes here and learns to be more player friendly. I don't know what you want to call it. More customer service or whatever you want to call it. Okay.
Right.
But
Take some HR classes.
I think that's what happened with Josh McDaniels. He left, became Denver's head coach. He didn't know how to be a head coach.
It's horrible.
That was a horrible experience. He even admitted in his interview with the Raiders, I was too young. I didn't know, had the full grasp of everything. I think he'll have a better turnout there this season for the Oakland Raiders. Maybe that's what Brian Flores needs to go learn, is how to be a people person a little bit better. You can still bring that hard ass to the football field and get the job done. And maybe you're right. Maybe they do kind of groom him to be that coach. I don't think he'll wait around that long. I think someone will give him an opportunity. I don't know if he's going to be blackballed or not, honestly, to become a head coach ever again. But I thought that was interesting and good for the Pittsburgh Steelers to give him a opportunity to coach and be in the NFL again. He's too talented not to be in. And I thought maybe he might go to college football, but I'm glad he's there in the NFL. So kudos for them. Do you have anything on the new league like pulled up or anything? Like what is this new football? Let's look it up real quick.
What is it called? Is it
USFL?
USFL?
There's 8 teams, I believe.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right, we have their website is up. Draft day 2022, February 22nd, 2022.
Oh, that's next week.
So there's 3 days left until draft day, and you have so inaugural game tickets are on sale now. Every team. So we have uniforms.
What are the teams?
So we have the Birmingham Stallions. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Where is it? Oh, let me go down. Yeah, Birmingham Stallions. Come on.
The Tampa Bay Bandits. I got them all right here.
We got Pittsburgh Maulers.
The Houston Gamblers. I like that. Okay.
This is pretty cool. I like
Michigan Panthers, New Jersey Generals, the Philadelphia Stars, New Orleans Breakers. I don't really like that one. So, Jeff, let's pick a team right now, Jeff. Who's gonna be our USFL team? Who are we gonna choose to root for? I do like the Houston Gamblers name. I just don't know if I can root for anything Houston because they're a bunch of cheaters down there.
New Jersey Generals.
The New
Jersey's got a freaking team, man. That's
right.
Cool.
Not even New York, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna go to New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey.
Birmingham Stallions. Are you gonna pick the
Jeff
Stallions?
Fisher is coaching the Michigan Panthers.
No
Jeff
way.
Fisher.
No way.
Yeah.
Interesting. Who are they gonna draft?
New Orleans Breakers. I'm not really sure what that means.
I don't like that name.
Let's see.
They're gonna
Philadelphia Stars.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Compete with Dallas.
Who are we picking? Who are we picking here? Who's your team? I don't know. I might go with Houston Gamblers. I like that name. You could go with the Stallions and keep it horse related with your Denver Broncos.
I could go there.
The Tampa Bay Bandits. I don't know. Tom Brady's left Tampa Bay like bad taste in the mouth.
Who's Mike Riley? He's the coach of the New Jersey Generals. This is an interesting. Oh man, this is crazy. Pittsburgh. I think Birmingham Stallions seem pretty cool.
Kevin Sumlin.
I think Skip Holtz is the coach. I think they seem like they're going to be defensive, like just no nonsense kind of team. And it seems like they are going to have a lot of like fast. They seem like they're going to be a fast team, fast paced team. So
now when does the league start, Jeff? It's called the USFL.
The inaugural game, they said on their. Let's go back. Get off there. Their inaugural game is Where is it? Announces inaugural playoff championship game in Canton, Ohio. Well, how do you? Let's see. Let me go buy tickets.
I bet you had it.
Okay, so let's do this. Accept it. So this game is Saturday, April 16th at 6:30 p.m. and it's in Birmingham, and it's the Stallions versus the Generals, and it's the inaugural USFL game. So this is the first game on April 16th, or no, yeah, April 16th, Saturday. So tickets right now are $10 each.
There
Heck
you
yeah.
go.
Heck yeah, man. You can
I'm trying to look at the
$20,
uniforms.
you can go in.
I kind of like the Stars uniform. They're red and like yellow.
Philadelphia.
Cool.
That's pretty cool. Panthers have a pretty cool logo too. Michigan Panthers.
Yeah.
So yeah, playoffs begin June 25th. Let's see if we can actually look up the schedule. There we go. USFL schedules. No thanks. Get off here. I don't want that. Yeah, so it's interesting. I think we will. I think this is going to be a very interesting thing.
Look, let's be.
It's on Fox. Fox Sports is the broadcast, the official partner. It plans to split the game's broadcast rights equally between Fox, FS1, NBC, and USA. And on December 15th, Fox and NBC have finalized their deals with the latter, joined an official broadcasting partner. Both partners plan to broadcast 20 over-the-air games, 12 on Fox, 8 on NBC, 19 cable-only games, so 10 FS1 and 9 on USA. So, and some are going to be online on Peacock. So I guess that's also.
Let me tell you about how successful these other football leagues have been, Jeff. So XFL lasted a full season. Okay, that was it. The AFL, Jeff, I kid you not. The AFL came out and I texted my buddies, "Hey, are y'all watching the new AFL?" And they go, "What are you talking about? When does it start? What do you?" And I said, "It starts tonight." Like no one knew it. They lasted 8 games and went bankrupt. I don't know. I have no high hopes.
My only thing is it's going to take person that will lose money initially on the investment. And I think as they understand they will lose money initially. As we continue in year 2, in year 3, in year 4, finally, I think at that point people will start getting accustomed to it, and they'll be like, "Oh heck yeah, we got." It's because these are so short and they're so quick to pull the trigger and pull the plug on the whole thing that no one takes it seriously. But it's going to take more than enough seasons to get it to be taken seriously, and 1 year isn't going to do it. Maybe 2 years isn't going to do it. But I think if they're consistent enough, people will be like, okay, this is cool because we get a little bit of football and, we get a little bit of something before the season starts. And then by the time it's ending, we got off season around the corner, and why not?
Right.
Why not?
Well, and I have no expectations. What I like to see about these new leagues is I like to see what kind of new rules they come up with.
Right.
How are they going to do playoff football, or how are they going to do overtime football? What's going to come of this where we could possibly see an NFL see some changes made? I don't know.
Are they going to light the football on fire? Will they allow them to throw the football that's now lit on fire? We don't know these questions.
Are they going to allow them to deflate the football?
Are they going to allow late hits?
NFL blitz style.
Everyone would be pretty much that. It would last 1 year, and everyone would be injured by the end of the season.
You're right. Someone's gonna have to lose a lot of money to hopefully gain traction, and I think, look, this will not be good. It will not be good. But go watch it. Maybe get a laugh. I don't know. Maybe you'll like it. A lot of people don't. So
I think if people want to just have a sense of, yes, there's some football on during the off season. If you give it a chance, I guess, and just kind of see where it goes, but they have to stick around. Like they can't just do this 8-game pull the plug. 1 year, pull the plug, because it's just not going to be taken seriously. Nobody wants to invest in something if you're not in it for the long term. And so that's the problem. Be in it for the long term, and the fans will then start coming to it. It won't happen in year 1, but if in year 5 or 6, we could be like, oh man, I'm ready for, USFL and after the season and stuff, because we get more football. Like,
If
that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the greatest players on earth, because we already know where those players are, but it does give us a sense of like, hey man, this is an interesting little thing to invest in and kind of, cheer for, and not really have a dog in the fight, because you don't have that sense of rivalry yet. You don't have that sense of history yet. So they got to stay around. I mean, this is a long-term investment, not a short-term. If they go into it with short-term investment in mind with no plan of action, it's going to fail, just like the other ones have.
I'm going with the Houston Gamblers. That's my USFL team, guys. Let's go, Gamblers. I don't like the Houston name in front of it, but I'll take the Gamblers.
Yeah, I'm going with the Birmingham Stallions. I'm going to go with that because I think that's a cool name, and I think that team's going to. We'll see how they draft. Like, that's the interesting. It drafts in 3 days.
This might be a dumb question, but where was Birmingham? Is it Alabama?
Alabama.
I thought so. Maybe they get Coach Saban to come over there and teach them how to.
Oh gosh, dude, that would be crazy. The NFL's like, no.
Hey, Brett Favre and them still play in like a flag league, so Brett Favre out there
throwing some.
Well, all right, Jeff, it is that time. What is in your locker? Tell us all about the job and all that good stuff. And go ahead.
Okay, started 3 weeks ago or about. It's interesting learning on the fly. Initially, the first week was a little interesting. It was a lot of technical issues and errors, and I didn't really get to do a whole lot in week 1. But after that, there was a lot of training that I went to, and it was interesting. I trained with a lady who was on her way out, and I was actually replacing her. And so she taught me a lot, gave me all these printouts, and allowed me to understand their style scheme and stuff. So I got to learn a lot about that. Now I'm the only one there that's a graphic designer, other than the senior designer, who does something completely different than I do. So it's just me, and I go in. My hours right now are just a little weird. I go in at 9, I get off at 6. And once they start unleashing all these other tasks onto me, which my boss said, once that happens, then I can kind of pick when I want to come in and pick when I want to leave. And so as long as I'm getting my full hours in or whatever, they don't care. So it's just kind of, it's a pretty cool place. Everyone's pretty chilled out. There's not a whole lot. People kind of leave you alone and let you do your thing and get your job done. And I enjoy it. It's not like it's not like I'm going to work going, I don't care. So it's just kind of like, it's cool. My pay is great. Benefits are good. Like, I can't complain. And ultimately I'm learning a lot, and I'm going to be able to use all the stuff I learn here for anything in the future. And it's just a huge career opportunity that I did not expect to happen. And it actually did. And it's pretty crazy. So in terms of what's going on right now, work-wise, has been what I just talked about. Watched the Super Bowl, got some wings. I had to order and then come back an hour later to get them. So I did get them right when the game started. So I missed probably about the first 15 to 20 minutes of the game. And so then after that, I watched the whole thing. I did enjoy some of the commercials. I did like the liquid death, children drinking alcohol, but it was actually water. That was pretty good. And then I also enjoyed the Lord of the Rings teaser trailer. Yes. That was pretty cool.
Yes.
The game was good. I enjoyed it. It was fun to watch. Like last year, I could care less. You had Patrick Mahomes and you had Tom Brady. I don't care. That's the one where I was like, I'm not even gonna watch, because I don't care. I don't want either one to win. So with that being said, my wife is getting close, maybe, to possibly getting a deal with a publication house. So we're hoping that she gets that. She hasn't heard back from them yet, and you're starting to see the numbers dwindle on how many people they have left to figure out, who's in the running, and it's down to 4. So
Nice.
it's pretty insane. She has not heard anything back yet, so I told her that's a good thing. Um, so that stuff, I haven't played any games, which I'm really getting frustrated because I haven't had time. I might play some Cyberpunk 2077 because they did release an update for that for PS5, and I want to test that out because I played it when it first came out and it was absolute hot garbage. So
That's a,
hopefully, I've heard
that's
it's not hard garbage anymore. So I definitely need to complete Horizon Zero Dawn before I play the next Horizon because I think I heard that it's important to, if you really want to get the lore, to play Horizon Zero Dawn first, which isn't too long if you think about it, especially if you do it like me and you play on easy mode, and you're overpowered. And so it's a good way to get through the story. So
it can be a difficult game. It can be like
it can be a difficult game, but especially if you just want to get through the story, there is a very easy mode where you can just kind of go through and you get real powerful and nothing really is too crazy. As long as you get the lore and you get the cutscenes, and so as long as I just straight gold line main line it at that point. So because I definitely want to get through that. So it's other than that, I did not get a chance to play the trial version of MLB The Show co-op update thing that's out now this weekend only, where now they're allowing people for MLB The Show next season, the next MLB The Show, to have online co-op games. 2v2, 3v3, and they're testing that out as
that's
we speak
awesome.
right now. So you
Nice.
can actually go onto the PlayStation Store, find MLB The Show 22, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and it's free, and you can download it, and you can actually test out the servers and do 2v2 or 3v3 games. So, and they cycles around, which is kind of cool. So let's say you had 3v3, and Brian pitched. I'm in the infield, and then let's say somebody else we're playing with is in the outfield. We go through that inning or that
Then you can switch it
series,
up.
and then the next series, I
Nice.
pitch. Brian's in the infield. The other person's in the infield. Brian's in the outfield, and so it does switch each inning, and it gives everybody a chance to pitch, and it's just pretty cool. I love it, dude. And so I'm like, yes, there's going to be some instances where Brian and I will be playing that, and we'll be playing 2v2 and whooping some A.
I love,
Um,
and it's interesting because even during football, Madden is garbage to me. So I've been playing MLB The Show, man, and it's
I
just
love MLB The
fantastic.
Show. I actually went through the October road to. I'm trying to platinum the game. Honestly, like I think I can do it because it's like you need to. The hardest one is being called up from Road to the Show, and I'm like, oh, to
Yeah,
the majors. You got to get to the majors. So that's the only like, oh, that's gonna be so hard. But but yeah, other than that, I think I can platinum it because I did go to March to October and I won the World Series. So I did get that trophy. But yeah, like that. Again, I don't like to I don't think we're gonna get Last of Us. I think it's been said that by HBO we were not probably gonna get it till 2023. No, that's that's frustrating. At least we get Stranger Things in May.
dude. Yes, 2
So
parts too. I'm like, dang it.
so it's gonna be it's and then I'll also coming into I will give some props to the Uncharted movie. I have not seen the Uncharted movie, obviously, but I had a feeling it was going to do well, and it has. It's already at 46 million
Nice.
as of right
We're
now.
going Saturday.
So it seems like it's a movie that's all right, but it's a good time. And that's what everyone keeps saying. Like it's okay. It's not going to be like this, you know, Joker-esque, arts movie, like take it seriously, but it's going to have the over-the-top action parts. It's going to have the crazy stuff. It's going to have what you expect from the games because ultimately the games, they're goofy. They've always been that way. So that's what's cool about it. And I had a feeling, and this came at the right time. Tom Holland's name is like gold.
Dude, he's fire right now.
So Sony nailed the timing on that. It was like Spider-Man this, and they hit it at the same times. And I'm like, oh, that's perfect. So that's cool. And then obviously Batman comes out on the 4th of March, and I'm going to watch that opening weekend. So for sure. But yeah, other than that, that's it. Not much. It's been snowing here. It's going to snow again next week, and it's going to snow from Monday to Thursday, and it's going to be -1 on Monday. So we're getting tons of snow in the mountains, tons of snow in the foothills, and winter is going to linger on a little bit longer until next month when spring comes around and we finally get our temperatures back into the 60s like it usually would be.
Unfortunately.
Back to you, Brian, and your locker.
Well, Jeff, it's funny you mentioned the weather. So we're going to hit 81 degrees on Monday. 80s and the 80s. And then Thursday, Jeff, they're talking about snowstorm again. Like, are you kidding? Can we not have consistent freaking weather?
You're welcome.
My God.
You're welcome.
No, I'm not welcome.
Yeah, we're blowing it all the way over there.
I don't like it. Okay.
It's always, but again, this is a stepping stone, Brian. It's preparing you for the inevitable icebox game
age.
Icebox game in Green Bay at Lambeau Field.
Yeah.
It's preparing you. It's getting your skin tough and getting it ready for that game, Brian. Whenever you finally go and it's snowing and it's cold and it's a hard-nosed game, Brian will be out there. He'll be like, man, all those cold days in Texas prepared me for today.
Worth it, right? So worth it. Well, 2 weeks ago we had a snowstorm and I missed some work. And let me tell you, Jeff, I put in 13 to 14-hour days every day for the last 2 weeks. It's been exhausting. I am burnt out, man. That's one of the reasons I haven't put an episode out on Tuesdays, because I haven't found the time. Like Friday, I had a pretty good day. I was running our second biggest route we have, and Friday is not too bad. It's 109 stops I got to do, but I had to, like Thursday, I worked 13 hours. I came home at 3 and went to bed at 4. I had to go in at midnight to get off in time to go do our taxes on Friday. So that was a big hoo-ha there. I'm just very exhausting last 2 weeks. But I digress. We got Apple TV, Jeff, $4.99 a month. Said, why not? Might as well get it.
Did you get it on PlayStation?
No, I got it with our smart TV. Like down.
Okay. Because I know it's on PlayStation too.
Yeah, we have a smart TV, so we don't even use PlayStation.
But if the PlayStation's in a room or whatever, you can download it and sign in.
Yeah, use it. Yeah. And we've been watching Ted Lasso. Oh my gosh, I freaking love this show. It's won a lot of awards. I really love Jason Sudeikis. I think he's super funny. A great show. I didn't expect to like it. It's about basically a owner who hires a high school football or college football coach from here to go across seas and play and coach soccer. Doesn't know nothing about soccer. And I was like, it's going to be a lot of soccer crap. It's actually a lot of behind the scenes stuff, right? You're not sitting there watching a full soccer match. And it's actually really good. We've watched the first 2 seasons. They're working on the 3rd season right now. It's a fantastic show. I highly recommend it, Jeff. Fantastic. So I'm a big Yellowstone fan. We're still waiting on the next season. They came out with the 1883. Been watching that. It's fantastic as well. Tim McGraw, Faith Hill are in it, playing main characters. Got a lot of good guys in that. Sam Elliott, and they're also making another show, Jeff. 1932 is coming out before too long. I don't know, maybe next year. I'm not sure exactly a timeline on it, but 1932 is going to be about John Dutton's family getting through the Great Depression, and so they're going through these different timelines, and I really like it. If you like this is 1883, it's Western, it's Indians, it's thieves. It's, they're traveling from Texas, actually Fort Worth. They actually did a scene here in Fort Worth, Texas. They're traveling to get to Oregon, which they call the Promised Land. They go through all the problems you would usually go through, and it's really good. There's 7 episodes out right now with that, so I've been watching all that, watching 1932 when it comes out as well. So getting those good shows. I'm hopefully, Jeff, getting my I'm getting some cornhole boards made for my birthday. I love playing cornhole, and I'm getting them painted for our podcast. So
you said that last week, you liar.
It's gonna be it's gonna be epic when I get them. He said I texted him today about it. He said we're hopefully looking by this next weekend. So that's gonna be fantastic. We got a lot of birthdays this time of year. My birthday just was last weekend. My daughter's birthday, Phoebe, is on Tuesday the 22nd. My daughter Phoebe's gonna be 6, so we gotta do a birthday party. My other daughter, Lorelai's birthday is on March 7th. My mother's birthday is on March 3rd. We've got a bundle of birthdays this month and next. So that I had to go out and plan all that and get that stuff ready. We're getting, I've got one Great Dane, Jeff. We're getting another Great Dane.
A third one?
A second one. Oh. Not a third one. Now, my Great Dane, Lambeau is his name. It's fitting for me in Lambeau Field, Green Bay Packers, Lambeau. So we're getting Lambeau a buddy because he needs somebody to play with. Not that we don't give him a lot of attention, but
you're just tired of playing with him, Brian.
So he's my boy, man. He's my boy. So we're getting another Great Dane. It'll be Tuesday. It's actually, we're supposed to pick him up on the 20th, but she said actually the 22nd, which is on Phoebe's birthday. So it'll be cool to kind of go get him on her birthday and be excited. They know we're getting him.
Since it's Phoebe's birthday, does Phoebe get to name the dog?
No, I name the dogs.
That's how this happens. No, it's her birthday. No, I think she gets to name
them. No, we already named him.
Name a Cupcake.
Actually, well, that was the thing. Is the wife gets to name the girls, and I get to name the dogs. And all my dogs are boys because I have too much estrogen as it is in the house. And I said we don't have to name this one after Green Bay, so we came up with the name Sully from Monsters Inc., the big blue. So it's Disney related. It's or Pixar. I forget who makes it, but it is Pixar related, and Sully's a good name.
It's also from Uncharted. So let's not
and yes, Uncharted. Yeah, and it's also a name of a famous pilot who crashed a plane in the Hudson and saved a lot of people's lives. So it could go around 3 different kind of connotations there. So
you can have a different story every time someone comes over. It's like, where'd you get the name from? Well, actually, I really like Uncharted. And then the next person comes in, it's like, where'd you get the name from? Well, I really think that guy was heroic, So
really right. Tom Hanks played Sully really good. Sully Sullivan's his name. But anyways, so we're getting another Great Dane, and it's gonna be fantastic. A lot more work with this one. When we got Lambeau, he was already basically potty trained and crate trained. This one, it's going to be a whole new slate, but we're excited to get him and add him to the family. And we just did our taxes, so we're waiting for our tax returns to hit in, and going to be spending it on the house. We still got a lot of different things to get for the house, but yeah, man, I've been working my butt off. I had to learn a new route, and I'll be running that same route for the next 3 weeks, and then I'm off for spring break. I got that week off, so I'm just waiting until that happens so I can get a vacation. We're supposed to go on a date night next weekend. We celebrate also our anniversary this month. It's our 11th year anniversary, and we usually go to the movies, and we do what we call a date day. We'll go and we'll see 2 or 3 movies in a day and eat a steak dinner, and it'll literally takes all day. 3 movies. 2 movies, depending on what it is. We're going to go see Uncharted, and we're going to go see the Jackass movie.
Nice.
And then maybe fit in a third one if we can. The Jackass movie is only an hour and 30 minutes, so we might be able to squeeze a third one later in. The next month we will see Batman. Like, I'm super excited for this one. That's
IMAX. See it in IMAX. I'm going to see it in IMAX.
My goodness, going to be fantastic. So I'm interested to see their spin on the Batman. So I got this new hat. I really like it.
It's going to be a long one too.
And
a long movie.
Oh yeah, I'm glad.
Over 2 hours for sure.
I'm glad. Get it 3 hours like Lord of the Rings, and we'll be going good. But they've got a lot of characters to introduce. They got a lot of backstory to kind of fill in of what they're, so I like it. And I have no problem with that, some people, speaking of that, some people don't like Breaking Bad because it's too slow. I love how they set up everything.
Oh
They set
yeah.
up the backstories and this, and you get to see the characters change. And yeah, but I digress. That's been my last couple weeks here. I'm gonna try and get more podcast out on Tuesdays and Fridays. If not, we will have one on Friday. Like I told you last week, the sporting news kind of slows down when football starts. So I'm hoping to have some content for you during the week as well. But follow us on YouTube, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram. We're on all social platforms, all podcast platforms where you can find major podcast platforms. I do the TikTok as well. I do a outspoken food review page that I'm starting to do more things with that. So that's fantastic. And I'm hoping to show a picture next week of the boards. I don't know when I'll get them, but he said hopefully by next weekend. So they're gonna be sick. They're gonna be sick. They're gonna have lights on them and stuff. It's gonna be awesome. So
Nice.
I'm interested to see what those are gonna be. But other than that, man, I'm hoping hopefully we get some warmer weather. Today's 65 and beautiful. It's supposed to rain all next week though, and talking about snow on Thursday, and so.
Yeah, we got wind. I think it was 50 today. I think tomorrow's gonna be 60 or so tomorrow, but still snow on the ground. So I mean, it says 60, but it feels cooler than that because we have some wind. So yeah, but then next week it's just gonna be crazy, and I get to drive in it. Yeah,
we don't do that here in Texas.
You don't drive in it? Yeah, you do. You drive a truck in it. Yeah,
no.
you do. Yeah.
Any kind of sense they cancel work.
That flake goes. Dude, it's like you're out for a day. You're like, oh.
Well, what sucks is if there's snow Thursday, I won't be going on date night on Saturday, date day, because I'll have to go into work. So,
oh god. Tell work, screw it. I got date night.
Right. Like, screw it. All right, man. I knew it was gonna be a longer episode. It's been like 3 years since you've been on. So
yeah, I've got Next thing you know, the next time I pop on, guys, I'm gonna be like 9 years old. Okay, this show,
Jeff's gonna have like 5 kids. What in the world happened? No, all right, man. Well, it's been a good episode. We got a lot of the NFL continues to give us great news. Hopefully, the Cowboys get their act together and they're not in the news bad ways. We got a lot of we thought the quarterback carousel was interesting last year. Well, this year you got Kyle Murray unhappy in Arizona. What is Aaron Rodgers going to do? Where's Carson Wentz going to be traded to? What is the Colts going to do there? Who's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers? Who's going to be the Saints? Like, there's a lot going on quarterback news this way. Russell Wilson's been super quiet after wanting out of Seattle. What in the world's going on there? Being super quiet there. No idea what's going to happen.
No baseball.
Yeah,
I don't think we're getting baseball yet. They've at least canceled the first week of spring training.
Yeah, which bums me out. I want to go to a couple Ranger games. We've actually spent money on the team, so I can actually go watch them play badly.
We may only be able to watch baseball this season through MLB The Show 22, which is great because Brian and I can team up against other people. So
yes. All right, guys. We'll have a fantastic week. Hopefully, you're enjoying your weekend. We got Sunday tomorrow, the first Sunday without football, Jeff. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. But maybe check out the USFL when it starts.
Maybe.
I will check it out. I've checked all the other ones out. And let us know maybe if you're planning on checking those out, guys. But that is it. Everyone, have a fantastic weekend and stay safe and God bless.
Goodbye, everybody.